my god, it's finally here. Jeez, we've known about GLPKHO for quite a while now. We heard about him, way back in, I don't even know when. I was going to say the summer. It technically still is the summer until next week at the time of this recording. But, yeah, we've heard about him forever, and we've been getting slow-fed his requirements, which I don't even know if they've been doing posts on that. It seems like they just kind of show up in the GL listing within the game. Like, oh, by the way, here's the next batch of requirements. Like, oh, thanks for making this obvious that you did this. But, yeah, finally, his mother effing kit reveal is here. Before we actually get into looking at it, I did just want to do a little bit of a side rant. I think that this is such a huge ripoff of a GL. I mean, GL, Galactic Legend. I would think that a legend in any franchise is, you know, somebody that even a non-fan would think of. For example, like Lord of the Rings would be like Aragorn. Or, you know, Mission Impossible would be Tom Cruise. Even if you don't know his name, Ethan Hunt, you still know Tom Cruise is in it. Or, you know, or for Star Wars, a galactic legend would be like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, Emperor Palpatine. You know, characters like that somebody who has very bare bones knowledge would still know. Just like Pokemon, Pikachu. That's the only one anybody knows. You could be a zero fan and you still know Pikachu at least. GL Hondo? If I said Hondo Anaka, nobody's gonna know who that's from. If I just randomly threw that out there with no context, nobody's gonna have an understanding of where I'm coming from. You know, you could say Darth Vader and people immediately would be like, what are you talking about Star Wars for? I say Hondo Anaka, nobody even knows where to get started. They wouldn't think Star Wars, they'd be like, what is that word? You know, it kind of sounds like it's an Asian word, so you'd be thinking, what are you talking about? What is this? Chinese? Korean? Filipino? What is this? Then you'd be like, oh, he's from Star Wars. And you'd be like, what? Who? And then you'd be like, oh, he's a pirate. And you'd be like, oh, did you mean Pirates of the Caribbean? Which one? Like, this guy is not a legend. So, like, to put this as one of your top tier characters in the game is such a ripoff. Like, what's even worse is the Star Wars universe is massive. There is tons that they could choose from. Tons. And this is what they go with? Some random character. Oh, Pirate King Hondo. That's our next GL. Out of all these awesome things, out of all the extended universe, the legends, I guess that's the same thing, right? But you know what I mean. Canon, etc. Even from video games. And this is what you come back with. They could have even made like a GL Vader. Who cares? Oh, wait, I guess they have, actually. We have a Lord Vader. But still, that's Nightfall Anakin, if anything. You could have made an actual Vader when he has his outfit. Made it so it's like the Vader towards the end of his career as Vader, you know, like before he went up against Luke. So then he's at like his maximum power and all this. Or, you know, or something. No. Hondo. Seriously? Like, what a ripoff. Anyways, though, let's just see what they got to say about him. Obviously, there's going to be a Developer's Insights portion, like I always do, which will be this one. And then there's the kit, both of which I would assume are going to be kind of hefty, because since this is a GL and they've been working up to it for a while, I'm sure they're going to have a lot to say in the Developer's Insights portion. I know that I don't know, actually, I haven't looked at this yet, but the last one that they did, Ahsoka, I think they even had like a little Q&A with the designer, so they'll probably have that again. And then the kit, obviously there's going to be like, what do they usually have, 6 moves or something? 7 moves total in their kit, so, you know, there's plenty to go over there. So anyways, let's just get it. So we have his stupid long name. He's Darkseid, which is kind of stupid because the other one's neutral. Why isn't he neutral too then? At least at the bare bones minimum. If you're going to give us a dumb, useless character for our next GL, make it neutral. Make something cool about it. Like, okay, well, at least he's our first neutral GL. Nope. They make him Darkseid now. Like, oh, okay, that's cool. Anyways, his categories: GL, Darkseid, Support, Leader, Pirate, Scoundrel, Smuggler, and Order 66 Raid. Snatches document from Dickbag's hand. I'm always going to call Meathead Dickhead because he is annoying. He's bluntly a faggot. mean, his stupid nomenclature he always uses, calling characters they, there, when clearly it's like a man or a woman. Like, I'll never forget when I was reading Seer Junda's kit reveal, and he puts there in there. It's not there, it's her. Whenever she, blah, blah, blah. Whenever, you know, something affects her, not there and theirs and all this crap. She's one singular human woman, dickhead. Anyways, what's this dumb nonsense say? My dear friend, you have done well. Very well. But this requires a more delicate touch. A pirate's touch. Give it here. Your part in this grand adventure is over, and Hondo's has just begun. What was the point of that? That's so stupid. They make up, like, these dumb backstories that make no sense. You read this, and it's like, who's even supposed to be... It says, snatches document from dickhead's hand. So, like... What was that document from if he was holding it? Like, I almost feel like the words here are supposed to be Hondo's words, but now who's reading it? Who snatched it from Dickhead? So who's actually reading it? Is it supposed to be me? Did I snatch the paper from him that he got from Hondo? Like, what is your dumb storyline you're trying to create here, CJ? Anyways, key attributes. Taunt? Please. Lightning Raid goes right past them to the real prize. What does that mean? Lightning Raid goes right past them to the real prize. Oh, here we go. More stuff that don't make sense. Profit? My favorite word! For me, there is no limit to how much I can stack. The more I gain, the more glorious I become. And when I am swimming in profit, let us say 10 stacks or more, my friends, my entire crew cannot help but join in the fun. A double assist call. Nothing says teamwork, like everyone piling on when I already have the upper hand. The richer we are, the more painful it becomes for the enemy. A beautiful arrangement, yes? Jedi, Sith, it makes no difference. Heroes, villains, they all look the same when I'm taking their credits. Exactly, and that's why you should be neutral. Because you're not good or bad, you do what's best for you. But sure, okay, yep, you're dark side. Which would mean that you're a villain, but I guess you're not. Are you an anti-hero then? Like, what are you supposed to be? And also, it's saying all this dumb stuff like, oh, teamwork, like everyone piling on, I already have the upper hand, and blah, blah, blah. The richer we are, the more painful it becomes for the enemy and all this. It's like, yeah, I'd hope so. You're a useless GL that nobody cares about, but still, you're a GL. You're supposed to be good. So whatever dumb nonsense that they did to you should be to make you decent, even though you're a nobody, but you're supposed to be a legend. Anyways, inspiration. We had no creativity at all. We just grabbed the first stupid character we could find and pretended it was a legend instead of looking at all these other legendary characters that we could have actually added to the game. Oh wait, what's it actually say? Hondo has always been a legend in his own mind. Exactly. In his own mind. Not really in the world of Star Wars, though. We just finally caught up and made it official. Well, that's stupid. Just because you made it official doesn't mean that he is a legend. He is an absolute nobody that majority of Star Wars fans even haven't heard of. Let's put it this way. If I didn't play this game, I'd never hear about Hondo Anaka. His Galactic Legend kit and event farm framing aren't about brute stats. They're about letting players feel the thrill of being the galaxy's most lovable scoundrel. Someone who survives, thrives, and profits against all odds. You know, is this phrased the right way? Where it said event framing aren't about... I guess so. They're saying that the way that the event is framed isn't so then it's all about power. It's all about, I don't know, gaining buffs, I guess? I don't know. How are you supposed to defeat your enemy with no power? That don't really make sense, but sure. Hondo isn't just a pirate, he's a performer. His Galactic Legend form leans into that flair, turning every ability and cinematic moment into a stage for his schemes. It says his Galactic Legend form, so that means he's another one of these characters that transforms forms when he goes ultimate. Kind of like how Ahsoka changes her clothes, Kylo takes his mask off, C changes into his black robes, so Hondo changes as well. At the heart of it all, he remains exactly who he has always been, the opportunist who will always somehow come out ahead. Strategy tips. My friends, the entrance is everything. Always begin with a little lightning raid. Oh, is that what that meant up here? It's his own move or something? Please, lightning raid goes right past them to the real prize. Fast, loud, and spectacular. It unsettles the enemy, dazzles the audience, and most importantly, it reminds everyone whose show this really is. And where there is profit, well, where else would you expect to find me? Point me at the enemies with the fattest pockets, the juiciest buffs, and watch as I generously reallocate those assets into my possession. As for survival, please, I'm not here because of luck, no. I am still here because I am smart enough to duck at the right time. Play it wisely and you will see me outlast enemies who are stronger, braver, and much less handsome. Bro, calm down, you are not handsome. You are one doofy looking guy. Anyways, mod set recommendations, Gear 7+, speed and tenacity. That kind of makes sense. I guess you want him to go fast based on how he's saying stat, dazzle the enemy and all this. And tenacity just helps him survive, kind of, if he's not getting debuffs and all that, you know what I mean? Being all tenacious. Fack! How do I unlock me? Well, one, you're a fucking GL, so it's kind of obvious how you do it. But sure. At last, the most important question. At last? Shouldn't that be the last question then, not the first one? You'll find me where legends belong, in the Tales of the Pirate King Galactic Legend event. Bring your crew, bring your credits, and maybe bring a bribe. Is he good in the new raid? Am I good? My dear friend, I am essential. Without me, your raid is merely a brawl. With me, it is a masterpiece. Which is so stupid, because this is supposed to be the Order 66 raid. What the fuck did any pirates and Hondo have anything to do with Order 66? Oh yeah, that's right. Nothing. Pretty sure when I've watched episode 3 multiple times, there's never any pirates in there. And if they are, they're just like background characters that have no screen time because they don't matter at all. They are not the forefront, they're not the focus of what's happening during the execution of Order 66. But okay, yeah, you're going to be super critical in a raid that you basically have nothing to do with. Makes sense, yep. What squad is best with him? Ah, yes, every Pirate King needs a crew. SM33, Brutus, Vane, Captain Silvo. Together we are unstoppable, and more importantly, very stylish. Here's the thing. I kind of hate that CG gives you suggestions like this, because a lot of times, or not a lot of times, almost every time that I could, I've always gone with the team that they recommended for characters, because I thought, you know, they should know. They're the developers, they put their kits together, they make the synergies and all this with the other characters, so if they tell me that character X, Y, and Z are going to work great together, I blindly trust that X, Y, and Z will work great together, because why wouldn't they? And yet, every time I go and use X, Y, and Z teams that they tell me to use, they suck! And then I kind of theory craft and I come up with a team that's exponentially way better, and I'm like, F you, CG. Why did you tell me to use this when that's garbage and this is so much better? Like this. They're telling you to use SM33, Brutus, Vane, and Captain Silvo. And together we are unstoppable. Doubt it. The only one that I would listen to in that lineup would be SM33, because SM33, if I'm not mistaken, basically is GL Hondo's lifter, so obviously he's going to work good with him. But otherwise, Vane, Brutus, and Captain Silvo. Captain Silvo, first off, seems to be sort of worthless, so take him out right away. Vane seems pretty mid based on the testing that I've done with him, so he's kind of gone. Maybe Brutus could stay. Brutus seems like he has some value. It could play off pretty well under a GL lead. But at least those last two, Vane and Silvo, yeah, right. Choose someone else. His leader ability says all pirate allies and all smuggler allies gain 30% offense and 3% speed. GL Hondo has both tags. Does he get this twice? Well, I don't know why you're talking about what his leader ability says, because we haven't seen the kit yet. So, cool. Thanks for the spoiler, I guess? But of course, I'm both pirate and smuggler, which means I enjoy twice the benefits. 60% offense, 6% speed. Truly, it pays to be me. Why does GL Hondo give the enemy team buffs? Because generosity is good for business, especially when I take it all back. Which is very stupid. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you have a move that allows you to give the enemies buffs so that then you can take it? Like, there's no logic there. Oh man. You're just making extra steps for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, oh hey, we want our team to have these buffs, so we're going to give buffs to the enemy first, then we're going to use this other move so then we can take them back. Or you could have just skipped this step and just gave the buffs to your team to begin with. Duh. The only way that makes any sense is if they tie it in so that there's some kind of, I don't know, something big that happens. Like, almost like a damage over time type effect. You know what I mean? Like you put damage over time, like Vader's move, crushing, whatever the heck it's called, force crush, and then he gets the damage over time. Well, at first it doesn't do anything until the stacks expire. Then the enemies get damaged. So maybe if the kit for Hondo works so that when enemies have a lot of buffs, when Hondo takes them, that also deals damage or something, then okay, maybe that would be what makes this make sense. But otherwise, that just sounds really stupid. Anyways, why do the older pirates, Enfys, Sana, Staros, and Hondo, have a limit of 5 stacks of profit? You see, my friends, too much profit is, how do we say, bad for balance. Not for me, of course. I can handle unlimited riches with greater responsibility, but for the sake of fairness, and so that the galaxy does not collapse under my overwhelming brilliance, we keep it to 5 stacks. A pity, yes, but a little profit can go a long way in the right hands. I feel like that doesn't quite answer the question very well, though. I mean, you're talking about for the sake of fairness and balance and all this. The other characters can go up to, what, 10 or 15 or something like that? So that still doesn't answer why the old ones can only go to 5. Why can they only go to 5? That doesn't make any sense at all. They just gave, like, the perfect political answer here. They gave you 5 lines of dialogue, and it told you nothing. It did not answer your question at all. Hey, so how come they can only have 5? Oh, well, balance and fairness. Okay, and? I mean, this is a GL that we're using. GLs are supposed to be OP. So if the old characters get a bunch of stacks of profit and they become very OP under a GL who's supposed to be OP, isn't that a good thing? I don't understand the logic, or I should say lack of logic here. Alright, now I'm seeing abilities. So that means that the kit reveal is coming, and obviously that's going to be a separate video. So the Developer's Insights part is actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. The only reason it ended up as long as it has is because I've been rambling a lot. You know, my rant in the beginning, and then kind of commentating on all the stupid comments that CG put and all this. But otherwise, yeah, not so bad. So anyways, next up will be arguably the better video, which is the kit reveal, so we can actually learn what this doofus is all about, what he can offer his team, and what his team can gain, and what they can do as a whole, and kind of try to get an idea of how good he actually is. Unfortunately, because he's the latest and greatest GL, he's probably going to be super good, which is so stupid because he is not a fucking legend. He is a doofy loser nobody knows about, and yet now he's going to be super OP in the game. Like, cool. Way to go, CG. But anyways, I guess that's all I got, so thanks for checking this out with me. Please be sure to check out that kit reveal, and until that one, I said see ya.